Recording is on.
So, welcome everyone to call number 3. Welcome to the Bitcoin design community. Mo here, and there's a few of us here. We are continuing with the Between Us project, which, if you don't know, it is about telling real stories from real people on the ground who are using Bitcoin. It is the 23rd of February, 2026. This call is all about showcasing design ideas which we had, and maybe we'll even start designing on the call and deciding on the next steps. So, Desi, you've gone ahead and created some designs. I am slowly importing them into the file. I'd love it if you could walk us through um, some of your thought process. I'm just putting it in here, up here, file import. And here we have another one here.
Yeah, these are just some of the inspiration I had from
Nice.
National Geographic clips. I thought of, if it's documentary and dignity, we could do pieces where it's showcasing the story in a really powerful image that will integrate something of Bitcoin in it, while also showing maybe even the cultural history, leaving space for that. So that's part of why I put that example of Native American dance started a movement. So that for the vision board. For the mock-up, whenever you get to that, it's a woman holding a baby, and she's walking into a medical center, and you could see the Bitcoin symbol in the distance. I actually took that picture. It doesn't show her face, but it tells a story of the founder of BTC Babies, and it is a project or a nonprofit that's actually helping women. What they do is, and that's
Oh,
my
here we
mock-up right
go.
there.
Here we go. Is this the one you're
Yes,
referring to?
that's correct. So this is a kind of inspiration from National Geographic. I went ahead and I mean, we could do this way better, but this is more or less something I just kind of put together and using that picture. If you see in the distance, we see like the little Bitcoin symbol, and that
Mm-hmm.
medical center is really cool. They'll give the mothers every week $5 worth of Bitcoin in
Mm-hmm.
order to do anything they need, especially like medical expenses for their babies. So that right there is the founder, and she actually lives in the Netherlands. I'm not sure if you're acquainted with her, but
I have. I've
um,
met her. She's lovely.
she's pretty amazing. So this is something I thought about if we're talking about written articles. I have more ideas for more documentary video style, but this seemed to be more or less like what the assignment was.
Amazing. Do you want to walk us through the inspiration? I can just share my screen.
Of course, yeah. I love the National Geographic style. I think that's something very powerful that's missing. We do
Mm-hmm.
have like Bitcoin Magazine, but I don't know. I feel like something is missing there. We need more of a human aspect. So this whole mood board is taken from stories like that. I especially love the Michelin star story, 100 years in the story behind the Michelin stars. And it's just like a really powerful image of like, it's very, how do I say, yeah, this is kind of the style or aesthetic I would probably go for when we're telling our stories. We're not like putting Bitcoin in people's faces. We're
Mm-hmm.
telling stories of everything, of like where they're from and and the accomplishments behind it, and how that will also relate to the broader financial systems that they have to be in the world. If that makes sense.
Gotcha. Nice.
And integrating their culture. Over here we see Tondo, Sabina, who is it's all the way up, yeah, right there. So we can just pull stories from even founders people who are building in the ecosystem in like everyday life. That's another thing. Like it's actually like a documentary style, and like her in the day of doing something, um, and the story through that. So yeah, I don't know.
Love
That's
it.
kind of what I'm going here for.
I like this. Nice. Thank you so much for taking the time to put that together. Amazing. What is it? What are these four headings? I mean, could you just elaborate a little bit of these? Because I'm so used to seeing just one heading and then a subheading. Do you want to chat about this, the purpose behind these here?
Yeah, so that was a template that I used.
Okay.
However, we you can get inspiration. I really love, like I said, the National Geographic templates and styles. So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
just put that there. I didn't know really. I'm more of a producer storyteller, so in terms of graphic design, I would leave it up to the designer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, the font, yeah, but that's more or less like, I guess, powerful pictures documenting. Some people don't like their faces shown, so I was kind of
Mm-hmm.
going that style and aesthetic.
Amazing. We have some few other people here on the call, Sanyam as well, who's wanting to really be very hands-on in this project. Did you have some ideas around design directions as well, Sanyam?
Yes, I was looking for mostly journalism bodies and how we can creatively add the element of people's stories in it. Uh, I was adding some inspirations if you look at the part of bold and conceptual section above. Yeah, these three photos, I personally like these three, and I have many more. I'll be adding them soon. So like if you look at these three photos, I think I've added my thinking behind these as well, like how bitcoins is unconventional right now and how it stands you apart, and how we can tell a story. Like the first image
Sorry, I'm going to be back in one
is
second,
making
okay?
the person stand. Okay.
Sorry about that. I just literally had to go and have a very quick conversation. Sanyam, please continue.
Right. So I was saying, like the first image, the person is standing in a path. We can show how Bitcoin is unconventional, yet it helps you stand apart, and what's your story behind it. Uh, the second graphic, we can keep a spotlight on the people's stories, or or their face if they want to show their face, or keep big headings like that shows the impact that they had on their life. And
Mm-hmm.
in third one, we can use the person face and show all the snippets of their life where they use Bitcoin and how it's helping them in day-to-day life.
Mm, very interesting. Are these your sticky notes here as well?
Yes, yes, yes,
Nice. And I see you dragging in another one as well.
yes, yes. I was currently organizing the stuff and dragging them right now.
Let me go ahead and just move these into here, just so that everything is nice and tidy. Let me just move it in here. I'm going to create another space for you here and call this Sanyam. I'm just gonna grab it here. So you have your own story, because this is about keeping people's stories. So your story is right here, and I'm gonna move this back. Let's see. Okay, here you go.
All right.
Interesting. What do the rest of you guys think about this? There's Timmy on the call. There's also Desi on the call as well. What do you guys think about these design directions that we have?
I really love the sticky note idea. It's really cool. It
Uh-huh.
pops out to me.
Yeah. What do you like about that?
Well, it's like piecing together. It does tell a story in itself. It's piecing together ideas, right, of who this person is. So that's what automatically kind of stands out. So it's kind of telling a story in a way.
Hmm. Feels very human.
Right,
I
and we are
quite.
talking more about the person and
Mm-hmm.
right, and less about Bitcoin because as we initially thought that Bitcoin can be intimidating, so we want to keep it more human touch, as you said just.
I do like this as well. This sort of very bold. This is very bold. I found myself kind of almost going in the same direction, but now I like both of these, to be honest. Yeah, both of them have their own, in this sense, if we do every single person's photo with the same exact tint, then you get this equality amongst the people. Like you could have everyone with a beige tint, or everyone with a purple tint, or everyone
Right,
with an orange tint. And then you could have a
right.
very bold headline behind them or on top of them. And then I like this as well. I've never seen this before. This is very nice as well. Timmy, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I am trying to catch up on the conversation. I think we are putting together a mood board for between us,
Yes, yes.
right? So I'm looking at the first frame in Sanjay's. Yeah, this I like the style here. Yeah, I like the grid style and the font as well. It gives it an editorial vibe, and I think since we are documenting people's story, we can actually go with an editorial approach as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not necessarily going to be like a visual, right? It can also be just text,
Right.
what it's saying. So I think this first frame looks really good. I like the approach. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Let me see if I look at. Mm, there's so much of fun that could be had here. You could, this kind of feels sort of very documentary style, almost like cinematic. And
Right.
this over here feels like we're being very bold. Would you like to talk about this one, Sanya? Because this is something that you've added as well. This is the same sticky note
Right.
concept.
This idea speaks to me in a way like how Bitcoin is completing parts of someone's life. If they're using it, to create impact in their life. So it's like a puzzle piece kind of thing where you are fitting parts of your story and using Bitcoin as a pathway, something like that. I'm not
Mm,
sure because this can be up to the viewer's interpretation.
wow. Very interesting. Let's just go here.
Third one is a little straightforward, but fourth one is more of conceptual and leaving it to the viewer.
Desi, Timmy, what are your guys' feelings in terms of this direction?
I really love the sticky note idea. Would that be for every story? Is that what we're thinking?
I don't know. What would we have on the sticky notes? Like you could have their location, you could have a quote.
We could have the story, let's say what the article is about, and we could try to explain what the article is about through this graphic as well. I mean, kind of uh, telling 10%, 20% of what the article is about or the story is about by keeping some little piece of information or intriguing the curiosity with leaving some, interesting parts of the story
Mm.
that makes the viewer curious on what to read more.
I see Desi's getting started with something there. What are you doing? I'm curious.
Oh, nothing. I'm just trying to zoom in and out. My connection's a little off, so
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
I'm
So,
looking.
we have two design directions here. There's this one, which is sort of this more traditional, um, sort of National Geographic style. And then we have this one, which is kind of pulling you in as a reader. And then we have this, which is very, very bold. It's in your face. It's like, now you're gonna read. And then this one feels a little bit more connected to the National Geographic. Do you mind if okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm just gonna put the ones together that I feel are related. It feels
Yeah.
as if these two are connected because because of the style. This one is kind of on its own boat. Um, here. Um, and I would say that this goes on its own as well.
Right, right.
These are three completely different directions. Let's just call it um, direction one, and then I'll just go ahead and make this font smaller.
And for me, the way what I was doing with this mock-up was more like what would the titles look like and what would the images kind of feel like. That was more what I was going for in kind of a black with white font design. So I really do love um, some of these options that he's put here, especially the
Yeah,
beginning there
same.
and so we can like mix it up.
Uh, what I was thinking is I really like this idea of going National Geographic way and how it will look on our website. I was thinking of changing the visuals for every story,
Mm-hmm.
incorporating some elements of part of that story to create just one visual that will pull the audience. Basically, we are gonna use that visual on social media and with the link of the
Yes.
website or the article. That's, the purpose is gonna pull the audience, and we can experiment with that particular cover page visual, and keeping the style of National Geographic on the website. How does that work?
Could you just so what you're saying is that the every sort of image is like you would basically snip this out, and that's going to be your social media image. The headline coupled together with this photo, but the photo has a very specific design style attached to it. Or did I misinterpret?
Uh, Sorry, I did not hear like what you meant. Can you please repeat?
Yeah, so what you're saying is that you'd essentially sort of snip this out here, and that would be the social media image. It would be this bold, super bold headline with an image, and that's what we're sharing on social media.
Right. We can experiment with it,
Yeah,
throw some in creativity and do some design on it, and use some element of the story, change the design every time based on the story,
yeah,
keeping the main images same on the website and then add geo style,
yeah,
and
yeah.
sometimes keeping it more bold, sometimes keeping it more in a story way, sometimes keeping it leaving it to the viewer's interpretation.
Yeah. I feel like almost a
Keeping
combination. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course, keeping the overall brand visual identity same. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying to sometimes go very bold, sometimes go less bold. Keep like in a single direction. I mean, in a single brand identity direction. But experimentation. I'm open to experimentation with the cover pages for social media to pull the audience. That's it.
Exactly, exactly. We could definitely experiment with that. Yeah. I feel like a good combination of a good headline with a good image is going to be just, that's going to be more than enough. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Very interesting. I just want to see these sort of from up here again. Um, we had these different design directions. This is kind of very bold and conceptual, the one that Sanyam came up with. I do like the bold and conceptual mixed with that sort of National Geographic feel.
I feel the same way.
You feel the
I
same?
just, yeah,
Let me just write that down. Hold on. Um,
there is like a part of me that does want to integrate kind of the cypherpunk, but that could be a cool thing for maybe we do some section on fantasy, kind of. I don't know. Uh, maybe for another section.
Timmy, what are you
Yes.
feeling?
Okay, yeah. So I think the board and conceptual work as well. Although, can you send me the link to this
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
can
sure,
just
no problem.
please? I haven't.
I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, these two styles could mix together very nicely. And they could be just like one or two accent colors, and then the rest is black and white,
Preferably, yeah.
right? Let me just write here. Mm-hmm. I feel like the bold and conceptual will work very well for social media sharing as well.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the colors work together. Um, I'm just looking here. There was something that John showed me as well. It was almost like an image of a person, and then behind the person were shapes. Let me see if I can find that image on my desktop. Um, was it this here? This one? No. Here. This is something that John's actually shared with me during a call we had. And this is the same sort of bold and conceptual, but then the person, you're literally cutting out the whole person and you're putting
Right.
this like boldness behind them, which I think was very, I don't know, I felt like it was very well done. Not to say we should go in this direction, but I really like how playful it feels, but it also feels serious because the person is there as well.
Right, and it's flexible enough for many stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and it
mean, we
has
can
kind
keep
of
the same design style. Yes.
Mm. Desi, go ahead.
sorry. I was just commenting that it has that feel. It's cool.
Yeah, it feels very serious, but at the same time very playful. Yeah. Could we maybe play around with some color directions? Is there a color palette somewhere here? Hold on. I know those website colors is a good one to use. This one here. Are any of you familiar with that website?
What website?
This one here that I just shared in the link.
Oh yeah, colors, colors. Yeah.
Yeah, Coolest. Yes, I am familiar with that.
Yeah. I feel like the next step is putting together like a solid mock-up, maybe in, oh, my battery's a little bit dead. Putting together like a solid mock-up of of a homepage, maybe like three different versions of it. But the three versions can be, playing around with the sort of National Geographic slash um, bold conceptual style,
Right.
you know? Um, I don't know. What do you think, Sanyam and Desi and Timmy?
I think the idea is great. We can decide a direction uh, and keeping around our initial idea of human and approachable. Once that website is roughly decided, we can then move on to branding and stuff, logo and all.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the next step is literally as simple as this. Like it's basically having headline, and this is called very basic. Uh-huh. You're gonna have a subheadline going at sort of 700. No, let's go for 500. You're gonna go for a subheadline, and then you're gonna have your image underneath that here. And then you're sort of playing around with the story format, which is going to be here. And it's literally just seeing what a single story would look like in one of these different directions. Um, sort of very getting more granular in the direction and with the colors. And maybe if we just, we have three versions of this, so like 1, 2, 3, then we can vote as a community as to which direction we'd like to go in. Um, I know the creative geniuses are John. He couldn't make it on the call today. Sanyam, how are you with designing? Do you like these kind of things?
Yes, yes, I can do
Are we
this stuff.
talking graphics design here, or
Sorry, say that again.
are we talking
Yes,
graphics
I have
design?
done graphic design.
Yeah, like actually designing. Yeah.
Okay.
Like actually moving into the design and
Yes,
getting something. Sorry, go ahead.
yes, I've done the stuff. I can be of help.
What are your thoughts on? I just want to get a little bit more granular here with how the website will be built. I'm not a developer,
Uh, I'm thinking of uh, Vox style. Have you seen Vox website?
No, no. Do you want to share that?
Yes, yes, I'm gonna share the screen.
Go ahead.
Is this visible?
Um, let's have a look. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Uh, it must, yes. Right. So it's a little cluttered because they have lots of stories.
Mm-hmm.
We won't be having this much initially, but I want to keep it this way, you know, with big bold graphics, big headings, subheadings, and then maybe keep past stories here, primary story and feature on top, maybe add a scrolling action, a little or our newsletter or Bitcoin Bytes or something that we can link up, and then our major or
Yeah,
old stories and something, anything that we can fill the website with. But this is what the direction I'm thinking. Big headings, big graphics. This graphics I was
yeah, I
talking
love
about
that.
that pulls the audience just by looking at it.
Love that. Yeah. I definitely agree that the homepage here is way too cluttered. Like I think we could have, could you make a screenshot of that and just move that into the file, please?
Sure, sure.
Let's see here. This is call number 3. Desi, I see that you've sent some more stuff as well. Shall I add that in as well? Or
Sure, if you
maybe,
want. I mean, we can do it later. It was just more like ideas of kind of images, documentary style stuff. It's not like super important. I'm looking at different website ideas right now.
hmm yeah, here it is. Okay. So in terms of the above the fold, you know, essentially what we're essentially just looking at is one main image. Let me just say that this image is in black. Then what we would have is we would have a subheading on top of that, like this. This is going to be your font, your um, here. And then on top of that, you're going to have copy with a subheadline. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. I like that. And then here you're going to have the most recent stories, maybe just in blocks of 3. Or maybe not. You could even play around with having them here in blocks of 3. And then at the top, you're going to have the website name, and then you're going to have logo. and navigation. And then maybe it could just be a population of the most recent stories here with subheadings. I mean, this is like a really like simple version, but of course to be TBD, right?
Yes.
Um,
I have I have few more simple screenshots.
yeah, you're adding them in. Mm.
Yes, I added just right to the workflow.
Yeah, so this is like a story showcase,
Yes.
which could be basically the same one here, over here, and this one could just be showcase, right? And that basically fills your whole homepage. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you could go many directions with this. So what are you guys' feelings in terms of next steps? I have something in mind, but I'd like to hear from you.
I think since we are already fleshing out the layout, you might as well just come up with like a low fidelity wireframe based on this
So,
direction that we
sorry, Timmy,
have.
could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, so I said since we are already fleshing out the layout, we might as well just come up with like a low fidelity wireframe based on those directions that we have here. Just see how it will look. Look
Yeah,
in black and
yeah.
white. I don't think there's any decision made on colors for now, is there?
Yeah, just coming up with the framework with not too much busyness in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. The main thing is, and Desi, I'm curious what you think about this, but the headlines are going to be really what are going to pull people into wanting to read it or not. So there's going to be a lot of focus around making sure that the copy shines and that the copy is really pulling people in and that the copy has a prominent place in the website, not that it's like minor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Would it have a lot to do also with the design of it, with the design of the website itself? Just really,
yeah. Sanyam, what are your thoughts?
Exactly what you said. Like more of the headlines and things should pull people. So we should have people think in a direction of journalism kind of thing. How journalists write stuff
Yeah.
and catchy headings.
Desi, I feel like you're the best person. Sorry, that's the puppy. I feel like you're the best person with regards to helping us with the headlines. Like if you could, sorry, one moment.
that's something I like doing and coming up with stuff like that.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I enjoy copy and writing, eye-catching headlines. It's fun.
I feel like could you like imagine that we actually have stories and just come up with like one headline, one subheadline, and then like maybe like six imaginary story headlines. So we'd have like one here at the top, headline, subheadline, and then I don't know, that's up to you. Would these just be headlines or would they be headlines and subheadlines? I feel like both could work, but I don't know how that would look visually.
Well, if we're
Um,
looking at the main page, I think the image and the sub headline is like probably the most important thing. And then when they click on it, or at least the mouse kind of, you kind of go over the mouse and you can kind of see I guess, okay, the headline, and then the sub headline is what you would see. That's what I imagine, more or less. So I think a powerful image and a headline, a powerful headline would be, oh, wait, okay, sorry. I'm saying sub headline, but yes. The story of the stories itself with the sub headline, and then the description whenever they put it over the mouse is fine, or I don't know.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
think
if
something like,
you go ahead, go ahead.
sorry for crossing you, but I feel like sub-headlines give a little more context about the story and are necessary for the reader to create an image of what the story is about. Sometimes the
Yeah,
headlines are not enough, so sub-headlines should be there.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean. The sub headline and a powerful image. And if we want to put a description, that's up to you. That's something for later, but at least just the sub headline and an image. So what you would like me to do, just to summarize, just come up with a powerful headline and then some sub headlines. But what
yeah.
I'm trying to understand is that these are going to be um, maybe a topic and then a bunch of stories around the topic. How are we going to do this?
Maybe we should discuss that because I honestly don't know the answer to that question. Because what you're saying is like topical, as in merchants, and then long-term savers, and then everyday users, as in topical. Um, could we? This is such a good point. I love that question
Because
because
if our
there's.
audience
Mhm.
is our audience are non-Bitcoiners, what is going to pull them to be curious about the headline and then be like, oh, whoa, these sub-headlines are very interesting. They don't say it like that, but you get what I'm saying. These stories look very interesting. I want to know more. I'm going to click on this. So yeah,
Yeah,
we have to
because
find.
if you like put it on here and you put merchant here and you put like this here, then the average person will be like, what are they even talking about? Like then it almost becomes like a finance
Exactly.
magazine, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know what everyone else feels, but for me it feels more like in terms of what you said, we keep it non-topical. We could always add tagging within the individual story, like on the individual story page. Um, in the individual story page like this, there could be like a tag at the bottom, which people could then access through the search. But it feels like what you said in terms of, just keeping it very human. Um, yeah. How does
Something
everyone?
I just something
Hmm.
comes that comes top of mind all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. Is just people like travel, so maybe we pull them in that way.
That was an idea that John's had as well, is using the geography to kind of pull people in. Because
Yeah.
I do eventually, I would like to see tagging in terms of geography as well as in terms of use case, because that more leans towards the builder side of things. A builder who wants to build a Bitcoin application for someone living in Argentina or South America would type that in, right? And then you would hope that all of the stories would populate from there. And then another person would be like, well, I'm more interested in use case because the thing I'm building is a merchant. But then the average reader, we don't want to push that in their face.
Right. Like something, let's say, for instance, you're traveling and people really care about their privacy as like, VPNs or whatever, or how they can use Bitcoin. I don't know. We could go somewhere along the lines of that, of like, how can you travel and stay safe, or
Right.
something like that. That's just one example that I can come up with.
The copy is always the first step because the copy really determines how the page looks. Um, So yeah, if you could maybe guide us in terms of some copy directions for headline, subheadline, I think that would be good. And I think we stay away from, as you said, keeping this like front and center. We don't want to focus on any Bitcoin terminology. That tagging can always be within the use case, within the individual story. Um, does that make
Okay,
sense what I said?
that makes sense. I guess another question is, when do we talk about Bitcoin within the story?
Yeah. It feels to me as if we should almost mock up what a story would look like. Like, where's the website? I just want to go back to Humans of New York. Because there's just something that I really, really, really liked. It's gonna go into the archive now. Here we go. This is what I really, really liked here. I really liked the way that there was just one quote that just kind of shines out. I love this as well. You know, here there's no mention of Bitcoin. It's just this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm using it. And maybe when you click into the story, I love this. This is so beautiful. When you click into the story, then the Bitcoin is woven into the story here. The Bitcoin is not front and center. Front and center is that Bitcoin solved a problem for someone. Um, you know, I don't know. What are your feelings? Or maybe you could mock up like two versions of that. Like one version where Bitcoin is a bit more visible
Love
and
it.
one where it's less visible.
Yeah. How many of these would you like? Maybe 3 or 4?
I think just two would work great. I mean, I'll go ahead and share this link here. I'm pretty sure we can use AI to generate the stories. Like AI is amazing. And with your AI, I know how you're going to generate the story. Um, so I love this.
Yeah, I really
This
some
is
ideas.
not even this.
This is
Sorry, go
great.
ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I love this. It already gives me some ideas, so this is good.
Yeah. It's just so simple. It's so human. It's not like it doesn't feel like you're trying to sell anything. You're just selling the humanness, right? Um, and you're keeping with the vibe of this is something between the two of us, right? Um, yeah. So Sanya, I'm like, I feel like the direction is we have to leave it up to the genius of Desi to generate the stories, because with the stories you can move them into this visual,
Right.
right? And then we'll just have another call in 2 weeks if everyone feels good with that.
Sure.
Does that feel good? Would that work for you guys to have another call in 2 weeks?
Absolutely.
9th of March works.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's just go around the room and see if the 9th of March works. Let's see.
And feel free to reach out to me via email if you have any ideas.
Yeah, I've got Sanyam on Discord. I have you on Discord as well. Timmy, I also have you.
Yes.
Um, so maybe Desi, once Sanyam, you can already start playing. Like just play.
Sure.
You can already start playing around with like visual directions. And then Desi, once we get the copy over to him, then we can merge the two together and we can like really see what it's gonna look like.
Sanyam, if you would need any help with the directions, I'll be happy to.
Okay. Yep.
Sanyam, if you want to start a Figma file, do you want to add, are you in the Between Us Discord channel? Or you can even share it on the general channel if you want to.
Yes, I am in the Between Us channel. I'll share my Figma file for the website, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and share it in the general channel and then Timmy can jump into the file then, right?
Yes, please.
And then we'll await the genius of Desi with the storytelling, because that's going to be absolutely critical in
Yep.
how it pulls the reader in. So you guys can actually start simultaneously. Like Desi will do the generated some stories. I'll get that over to you. Or Desi, if you want to share that in the general channel as well, feel free.
You said general channel in Discord?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and share it. Sanyam will be there too, so Sanyam will can just grab it. And then, does it work well for everyone if we do our next call on the 9th at the same time?
Yeah, that works for me. The ninth.
Yeah, for me it works.
Does it work? Yeah. And you, Desi?
Yes, that works for me.
Timmy, does it work for you as well?
It does.
Timmy, can you send me your email, please, on Discord?
All right. I'll do that right
And then
now.
I'll add you to the meeting invite. Okay. And Sanyam, can you also please send me your email and then I'll add you to the meeting invite.
Okay.
We're gonna keep this rolling, okay?
Great.
All right. Sorry, noisy puppy in the background, but thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.